Good day, folks, and welcome back to the channel. So I recently saw a blog post from a Harley dealer that was titled, "Why Are Harleys Better Than Honda?" That really caught my attention. Now, obviously, this post would be biased as it was made by a Harley dealer, but as a longtime Harley guy, I thought it may be interesting. Even though after the issues I've had with Harley this year, I am reconsidering my loyalty. Harley says it was formed in 1903, although some have disputed that number. It was formed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the good old US of A. Honda, on the other hand, was formed in Japan. Their first complete motorcycle was made in 1949, and by the 70s and 80s, these two brands were duking it out. The Japanese motorcycles were kicking Harley's ass so bad at the time that in 1983, then President Ronald Reagan introduced massive tariffs on large Japanese motorcycles in order to help the motor company survive. This, of course, pissed off the Japanese manufacturers. But the debate has always been there, and I have heard it time and time again from both sides of the fence. Harley Davidson bikes are arguably the most popular bikes in North America. However, if you want to talk numbers worldwide, Honda is the king. Harley does not even come close. You can argue the reasons for why that is, but the fact still remains. The bottom line is Honda is number one, at least in sales numbers. Now, if you want to talk style, this is very subjective. In my opinion, there is nothing like a Harley Davidson cruiser. Now, if you've watched this channel for a while, you know my affinity for the Fat Boy. For me, I just can't get behind the look of a Honda. I'm sure this will get some hate, but that's just me. To each their own. But Honda just is not for me as far as styling goes. That also goes for sound, too. I love the sound of a Harley engine. Reliability is a big factor, and this is a big argument. There are people who will go to their deathbed swearing one way or the other. Now, back in the day, Harleys were not exactly known for high reliability. My uncle actually used to work for a Harley dealer years ago. He would always say that when new bikes or engines came into the shop, there would be a pool of oil underneath the crate within a day or two. But with the introduction of the Evolution engine in 1984, things started to change. These engines were more reliable and lasted in the big bikes until 1999 and still continued on in the Sportsters. There are still tons of Evos still cruising today. In fact, I have a 1988. But don't think I'm going to downplay Honda in this field. Honda has always been around the top of the list. Consumer Reports put them in the top tier, with Harley coming in usually somewhere in the middle. And the Goldwing has always set the standard for Honda reliability for me. You just have to look at how many there are still on the road 30 to 40 years later. Performance-wise, both brands do fairly well, but it depends on what you're looking for. Harley designs some large displacement engines that are mostly known for their power and torque, with values in the 130 to 140 foot-pound range. If you're looking for neck-snapping takeoffs, Harley is your way to go. But if it's speed you're looking for, Honda takes the cake. A Honda CBR 1000 RRR peaks at 214 horsepower with a top speed of 186 miles per hour. Now, I don't know of any Harleys with those numbers without being heavily modified. Now, I'm not saying a Harley won't make significant performance numbers, because they will. I'm just saying that on its face, Honda is more noted for speed over Harley. Honda would have the edge in technology as well. Harley has made some headway in that area over the last couple of years, but they have generally never been known for advanced tech. Now let's talk expense. From this angle, I have a wealth of experience dealing with Harley Davidson Motor Company. Slap a Harley emblem on anything, and it immediately becomes more expensive. The same goes for servicing costs. You'll pay hundreds of dollars each time you visit a dealership for service or just maintenance of any kind. This is why a lot of folks do their own work. Hondas may be cheaper to buy and maintain. However, there is a reason that Harley charges so much money. It's because they can. Harley will use quality materials for their bikes, but they also know that they have a very loyal fan base that will usually pay whatever they ask. And I should know because, unfortunately, I've done it. Now, it may seem that I'm ripping on Harley here, but I'm not trying to. I'm just stating how these two bikes stack up. There is an argument for both, and it all depends on what you want. You want a powerful, stylish, beefy, hard-sounding bike? Get the Harley. You want a sleek, lighter, fast bike? Maybe get a Honda. Both makers also have nice touring bikes that are comfy and reliable. I don't think you could go wrong with getting either a Road Glide or a Goldwing. If you ask my opinion, I will most likely always lean towards the Harley over the Honda. But before people shred me in the comments, I just want to make clear I am not saying that that is because I think that Harley is a far superior motorcycle. This is completely subjective to the rider. There are just as many out there who would never get a Harley, especially compared to Honda, and that's perfectly all right. We are not all the same, and I don't see why there has to be one or the other calling each other names because of it. You're not a stupid hillbilly if you ride a hog, and you're not a girly man if you ride a metric. I just grew up on Harleys. I like the way they feel and sound. To me, there is just something about a big Harley cruising down the road, even if the Honda guys are blasting past me. But that's not to say that I would always pick a Harley over other bikes. There are others out there like Triumph or Indian, for example, that I would look at. It's just that Harley for me over Honda if I'm paying. Anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully everyone can just agree to disagree on this one. But let's stay safe out there on the road, and we will see you in the next one.